the news you can use segment. This one is all about that paper. There are a lot of simple rules when it comes to recycling paper. Rule number 1 is to make sure you are only putting paper in your recycle bin that is bigger than a credit card. Anything smaller than a credit card ends up being some not so fun decoration in our materials recovery facility. So let me give you some examples of what I mean. Shredded paper. Unfortunately, we see a lot of shredded paper in our recovery facility. What people don't realize is just like it makes a mess in your recycle bin, it makes a mess in the materials recovery facility. So you want to make sure you keep shredded paper out of your recycle bin. In fact, I heard from a little birdie that Delaware Solid Waste Authority offers document shredding events where you can come and bring your secure documents and we will shred them on site. The company that we partner with takes that shredded paper directly to a paper mill so that it can get recycled. Other paper that shouldn't go in your recycle bin include tissues, napkins, and paper towels. We do not want these things in your recycle bin because they aren't recyclable. By the time a piece of paper becomes a tissue, a napkin, or a paper towel, it has been recycled 5 to 7 times already. After it gets to this point, there is nothing more we can do, and you should feel comfortable throwing these in your trash. One thing that we always tell the kids is, would you want a worksheet from your teacher made out of someone's snotty tissue? Of course not. So make sure you don't put those used tissues, napkins, and paper towels in your recycle bin. And whether they're clean or not, we still don't want them in your recycle bin. Another item is paper cups. Throw those paper cups away. Even though we refer to this as a paper cup, there's also another material inside of it. Usually paper cups have a plastic lining that helps keep the liquid from melting the paper cup. Unfortunately, we cannot recycle these paper cups, so put them in the trash. And last but not least of my examples, we don't want your receipts. Make sure you are either picking the option where the receipt is emailed to you, or when you get them, you're throwing them away. Receipt paper is different than regular paper, so we can't recycle this and we don't want it in your recycle bin. Now that we talked about the things that aren't recyclable, let's talk about the paper that is. Paper bags. As long as they are clean and have minimal grease or other residue, feel free to put them inside of your recycle bin. Magazines, junk mail, newspaper, all quality paper that we would love to have in your recycle bin. Office paper, even if it's pretty colors like green and yellow, feel free to put them in your recycle bin. And here's a question that we get a lot. When it comes to these plastic paper envelopes with the plastic lining, feel free to also put these in your recycle bin. I know, it does have like this little plastic window, but it's okay. You don't worry a hair on your pretty little head about that. We'll take care of it. So I hope that you can take this information and continue recycling the correct way. As always, remember, it's not enough just to make sure you're putting the right thing in the recycle bin. You also want to make sure that it is clean and quality material. That especially stands true when it comes to paper. In fact, if you have paper in your recycling bin, it's always very important to make sure you're not putting any other containers that have residue inside with that paper, because they could potentially contaminate the paper. So I hope this video has been a good reference guide to help you figure out what paper we want in your bin and what paper we can go without. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video. Boom. My favorite part was when I threw the shredded paper.